Alright, welcome back to another video. It's Friday. As you can see behind me, everything's unthawing. It's really warm. Didn't freeze last night. We're getting lots of rain. It's going to be 7 degrees today. So I guess that was it for winter. We're into spring. Anyways, I'll give you a quick update on what's going on. TMR's back together. Well, not quite. The cone is still there. But the internals, we got all the bearings and everything, so that's all back together. We put the gearbox, well, Devin put the gearbox back in. There she be, all nice and new. So what happened is we ended up changing 2 of the bearings and 2 of the seals. Now we're just awaiting gear oil. It's a very specific, it's about $250 for a 5-gallon pail. That's the old stuff. So we're actually gonna need more than a pail. But yeah, so the oil, we'll be waiting to put the oil in. Meanwhile, we've been building this odd shape. It's supposed to be a square, but it's not. It's gonna be a firebox, believe it or not, for this trough here. We're planning on making a hot tub out of this, so we can go put it on the ice when we're ice fishing, so we can have a hot tub out on our ice by our ice shack. As ridiculous as that sounds, we're building that. So let's go get on to the farming side. Update you about that. See what we're doing here. Been trying to keep all the cows alive. We had that blizzard, but now we're having warm weather. Gonna get the cows wet, and then if it freezes again, we might be in trouble. Truck is on the back burner. We're waiting. I ordered a bunch of parts. So basically, electric fan. I got the clutch pedal, radiator, plumbing and stuff like that, so just little stuff. So we're waiting on that. Tractor, the 6030, the loader, the seals on the loader are leaking pretty bad now. They haven't blown out, but they're leaking pretty bad, as you can see right up under here. So we're not using that. We're waiting on, we're gonna probably take it apart today and bring the seals to a guy, or the cylinders to a guy, to see if we can get them fixed. So we'll do a checkup on the calves. We started feeding grass silage again, but we stopped now because the calves are apparently still getting a hold of it, even if we put them high up. I usually put a hay bale underneath and then a silage wheel on top, but somehow they're still getting to it. So we stopped that again. Guys are just getting too good of milk. We also put the bulls out. Everything is dirty. And we're starting to get some coughs. Hopefully that's not too bad. And we got to do bedding here again. Alright, we got the 6030 on the bale shredder. You can still use it, just not using the loader. We also got the 6010. We took it from my dad's. We got that going again. She hasn't worked much this winter, that tractor. It's all nice and clean too. Anyways, we're doing bedding in the barn. Everything's melting. Alright, just doing some bedding in this barn here. You can see our new heifers. Replacement heifers are out of the other barn and mixed in with the fall group so they can get bred. And so they can calf in October, hopefully, without any problems, right, girl? Anyways, I got this little wire here, same height as the young calves. so they can go under and bed down in that fresh bedding without being bothered by the cows. Cows put down a lot more manure than a little calf, so this place will get all mucked up and this side will stay nice and dry. For the most vulnerable and important, and it's the calves, so keeping a close eye on these guys, making sure they're getting only hay and high quality milk. It's a bad time of year when it gets hot and cold and wet and cold and the weather's all up and down. The calves don't like it, but so far so good. Our winter diarrhea seemed to go away. Now we got this problem. We got to fix this wire in this bunk here. The cows like to step up in it like that. Don't do that. And then they shit in the bunk. Hey, you big cows. Go, go. Fatty. So we got to clean this up here. So I got some extra wire. We're going to fix that bunk just over there where the cows are stepping into the feed. But I was just thinking, now, call me crazy, but if we get enough warm weather, wouldn't the maple syrup start running? It's only December. Wow, it's going to be January soon. And we've had cases where in February, maple syrup started running because it was warm. A lot of people got most of their sap in that month. The spring ended up being crap. But is it too early for maple syrup now if it's unthawing? Mind you, there's about 6 inches of ice. So the time it's going to take for everything to warm up and unthaw completely, especially for the tree, for the trunk and everything. I don't know. I really don't know. Am I crazy for thinking that, or is that possible? Or is it like a really early season? Anyways, leave a comment down below. What do you think? If you know anything about it. Even if it is, I'm gonna miss it once again. All right, let's fix this. Okay, so this wire is up, and that's the idea. Keep their heads in the bunk and their feet out of it. Gotta put some power on it now. All right, I just got finished putting the cross member on, holding the 2 axles. Doesn't really do much, but now we're gonna go throw the screw on. So we're gonna get the tractor. We're gonna get the tractor in here and dump the screw back in there. Just throw it in, you know, let it self-align. It's a nice day to do it anyways. All right, out she goes. Don't even have to close the door. We'll get the loader, put that screw back in where it belongs. Devin did some welding on it, so it's all ready to go. It's good to clean up those holes there. It's not safe. All right, Devin's super safe chain handling. All right, we've dumped her in. She's just a couple inches off to the left, so we'll move that over and back her up, back in the... All right, so the cone is in. We're just bolting them in. Unfortunately, the threads weren't cleaned before we put it in, so I'm cleaning them as I do it now. It's kind of a hard job. Basically, there's a ring here that has to fit on the outside of this ring, and that was pretty dirty. I had to clean that up with the grinder as much as I could. I was almost tempted to take this thing out just so I could clean that up so it could fit down in there properly. But a lot of the threads got junk in them, but WD-40 does the trick. All right, so we took the cone back out. We flipped it on its side. Just this edge here that has rust on it that doesn't want to fit. We gotta take the die grinder to it and clean it up. not too bad. It's just a couple spots, so should be pretty quick. All right, so I just took a couple minutes and passed a wire brush over here. That's where it has to sit. There was a lot of rust, preventing it from sitting into that lip. So now it's all cleaned up. We can put it back in. All right, so it's back in. And the bolts are going in beautifully. It seems to fit pretty well now. Well, the lid's going back on. We're done here. All right. All right, next we're undoing the loader. Oh, this thing's freaking loose. Time for an overhaul on this loader. Got to do the seals like we talked about before. So I'm just taking it off. All right, so we got this loader off, nice and tucked away in the shop. This side was giving me trouble leaking yesterday when I was plowing snow. You can see here. It would collect. It was weird. I would see a stream of oil coming down from it every time I went on a downslope when I wasn't using it. So I think the seals are pretty much shot. I think right in here actually, but I'm not too sure if I can tighten them up or not. They all leak. They all do their fair share, and they all need new seals. I was hoping maybe I can take it out and just tighten them up. Well, I'll have to take them out and see how they work. They wanted, from Stahl, they wanted $300 for the complete rebuild seals for one cylinder. Now, I don't know if that's overpriced or not, because we're going to have to do this side too. So that's $600. And these front ones, they could also be rebuilt since we're at it. They all do. It's an old loader. It's got almost 12,000 hours on it, so pins too need to be changed. So I'm not too sure if I'm gonna just take them out and send them to a guy in Montebello that does the cylinders. We got them done for our skidder. They were pretty cheap, but they were just John Deere seals. So might just take them out and send them to the guy and get them done, because for the price, $300 for each, then I have to do them myself too, and I've never done seals. So if I can get a guy to do it, and it's probably even cheaper, They have seals in stock, so I don't know what these German loaders, if they have parts available or not, but we'll see.